like scary. We are back. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having an awesome day. It feels great to be a horror fan. So you guys, I just got done watching Orphan First Kill. And that's how it is with Isabel Furman, man. She killed Esther. But yeah, so for you guys that don't know, Orphan First Kill is a prequel to 2009 release of Orphan. Now we know how that ended, so they had to do a prequel. So you guys, this is going to be a very in-depth, detailed spoiler review. So if you haven't seen it, you guys definitely you should be leaving by now. But so what goes on with freaking Esther and First Kill is basically she's like in this freaking this institute or whatever, and we get this scene from this lady. Her name is Anna. You know, and it's like Esther's at these red flashing lights, which I thought something crazy was about to happen. I think it was about to happen. Esther's basically, she's drawing, and you know, Esther has this pencil, and it looks like Esther is finna kill. You know, and so it's crazy. It starts off like that, and they're kind of like describing Esther. It's weird, like as the shape, you know, how Dr. Zartane was talking to the podcast in 2018. It's like, you know, basically Esther is dangerous and stuff. You know, Esther's very small. She's very, very small and tiny. At the end of the day, she's not like overpowering or anything. If anything, she kind of like plays with your mind. She plays like mind games. She manipulates and stuff like that. So when they were talking about her and stuff, it was kind of like, wow, they were really talking about her like she's this real live like serial killer, like on some Richard Ramirez, like Michael Myers type of stuff. So it was crazy. But so as we progress through the film, we get this guy. He's weird. He's like the security guard. So after he's locked up, they freaking treating her like a prisoner. He had his little tray or whatever. Make a long story short, he does something dumb he's supposed to be doing her stuff, and yeah, she freaking just tries to get this gift from him. It's like a dress. She tells him come in and everything, and this is her way to escape, which I kind of seen it coming. She kind of bashes his head against the wall, take his car, and she gets, you know, to leave and packing her stuff. Now this is Esther escaping. So it was another freaking inmate in there, or whatever you want to call it, patient. It was weird. Like Esther was giving her like pieces of candy, and like she would just go wild, like animal type wild. Like it was crazy. But yeah, the guy was weird, man. And she would give the guy, the patient like candy, and they'll just go crazy. So it was like that freaking inmate helped Esther escape. Which was real different. It's a lot of stuff they did, man, with the kill, like the kill in the beginning and the blood. They kind of went overboard, but it wasn't too like much overkill for me. I enjoyed this film. I want you guys to know that I did enjoy Orphan First Kill. But yeah, so Esther, she escapes. Make a long story short, and she's going out, and she follows the Anna girl. So it's this crazy freaking scene that was like, wow. So it's like snow on her windshield, and then the windshield wiper kind of wipes off, and Esther's standing right there. She's like, shh. And then Esther, you know, make a long story short, you already know where this went. When Anna gets out the car, she goes back into the institute. Of course, Esther will get in her car. So Esther's like in a trunk hiding out. The lady Anna pulls back up to her house at night, and Esther's there. Esther kills and kind of figure out what's her next move. He kills Anna, does a brutal kill like with a fucking crowbar. This is why I love Esther. She's brutal, and it's so creepy to know that a 30-year-old lady is trying to portray a kid. That was wild. But anyways, she kind of takes the image of another family's child, which is Esther. So this kind of describes, you know, what happened in 2009, how she got her name and everything. So she did some research, found out about this family and everything. So she looked, kind of matched up the face and stuff on this like iPad, weird as hell. And then the family kind of gets this notification like, hey, we found your daughter and everything. And so when they get back in, you know, contact with their daughter, they see her, they're like, man, Esther, where have you been? And it gets crazy, you guys. This possibly has one of the best fucking twists in horror. I think this kind of got me, at least in my opinion. But yeah, so the parents, we have Alan and Trisha. The freaking the mom, Trisha, is played by Julia Stiles, the awesome Julia Stiles, and Alan is played by Rosev Sutherland. But anyways, they are the parents or whatever. They are missing their daughter, so they're thinking Esther is Esther, if that makes sense. But they take her in or whatever. And long story short, she has another son. His name is Gunnar, which he fences. You know what type of person that is. He's fencing, and he's kind of coming off as like one of those type of guys that they're not nice, if that makes sense. So anyways, he's like, hey, my sister, and they kind of playing that role. They're like, yeah, your sister's weird. He's bringing them around her friends and stuff like that. Make a long story short, with this film, it was kind of, to me, in my opinion, they had a lot of missed opportunity, bro. They could have went crazy with Esther. Like, she became brutal in this, if that makes sense. She was very smart, showed the potential of the character Esther, showed the creepiness of her, and kind of showed like more behind the scenes, describing it, more development with her. I did enjoy it though. So we kind of get back into the story with you know, Trisha, and it was weird, man. She's kind of trying to do that little thing. She's trying to investigate and see what Esther was going on with Esther. So this is where the plot, this is where the plot starts and the twist and everything comes about. So Esther has that weird vibe to her. She's kind of checking out the dad, you know, she's going for the men and everything. We get this awesome freaking scene where we kind of find out how Esther found out how to work with blacklight and art. So she told Alan, which is her dad, like, I'm in love with art. Like, he's like, come on, I'm gonna teach you how to do this. And he's showing her the blacklight trick. So we found out that's how she found out in 2009 the blacklight trick, which was cool because it kind of connected it with 2009, which I love stuff like that. It's the little stuff that makes the big impact. So we get that, and I'm like, wow, that is crazy. So she's starting to try to look at him and stuff, the way, you know, she's trying to kind of fill him out because she likes him. You know how Esther is, you guys. But anyways, the mom, it's like we had a lot of stuff that kind of gave a hat tip to Orphan. You know, there's a lot of scenes. I don't want to kind of give you guys everything, but there's a lot of hat tips to Orphan. But she's like jealous at the end of the day when it comes to like males and their wives and stuff like that. But the thing that I was kind of scared of was like, bro, how would they do this with us? Like, are they gonna kind of make it the same, like she's just terrorizing families and stuff? No, it was not the case, where they proved me wrong. This was a great film, and the twist, we're gonna get into it right now. So we got this guy, he's like the inspector. He knows there's something up with Esther. He's getting fingerprints. Of course, Esther figures him out, like, oh, you're trying to do this. You're trying to come around and find out who I am. So he gets this freaking record off the record player to get her fingerprints. He takes it back home, and Trisha finds out, like, oh, I'm not dumb. She looks in that famous book that Esther has with the rubber band around it that shows, you know, and she has these pictures of, you know, her family and her, Trisha's face scratched out and shit like that. But anyways, Trisha's like, you know what? She goes. So Esther finds the inspector, kills him, right? And it's so weird. We get Trisha. She's coming in the inspector house. She meets up with Esther. And it's like, hey, and she shoots. So Esther's stabbing this guy. He's laid out bleeding, but he's still alive. But Trisha actually finished him off with a freaking gun, and it was weird because it threw me off. I'm like, what is going on? So this is the twist. So Trisha shoots him, and Esther's like surprised, like, what? Like, 'cause you know Esther's the crazy one. But she's like, you're not about to ruin my family. I know you're not my daughter. And he was going to possibly try to figure you out. That's going to ruin my family. Alan's been great since you came. So you're going to play your role since you decided to come in my family. You're going to play your role. And we're going to act like none of this never happened. And yeah, me and my son, Gunnar, we had to kill our daughter because I guess Gunnar was too rough with her. And he killed her or whatever, something like that. So they kind of had to cover it up. She didn't want her family to break apart. Trisha did. So Esther's like, what? Like, yeah, I'm not the crazy one. After all, I was talking about someone else. So the rest of the film, they're going at each other. Trisha and Esther are like butting heads. So it's like, 'cause they both know this secret, including Gunnar. It's weird. So Gunnar's like, yeah, you're not going to last long. I don't care about you personally. My mom told me to tolerate you. I'll kill you and get you out of here. So Esther still has, she's like she steals Esther. She's not scared of him or nothing. You know, she's very smart. But they're keeping everything from Alan. So make a long story short, before all this, Gunnar had a little party with his friends after his family went out to dinner, and he kind of found out that Esther, you know, was crazy because she's like, she said something to him, and she's like, go F yourself and stuff like that. He's like, So yeah, we're starting to figure this out. And Alan goes on like this art trip. He's an artist, and Esther's like, I want to go. And it's a little funny scene in my opinion where Trisha snatches Esther's hair like, no you don't. He's gonna leave. We're gonna deal with you. But anyways, she was actually about to kill him. We get a scene where Esther has this like long poster protector, and she's finna literally run, like have it landscape and push them out on the track and let them get hit by trains. So, you know, Trisha's like, you know what, Julia, she's like, you know, you try to kill me, we're gonna deal with you when we get home. So make a long story short, it is just so crazy how they were butting heads, bro. We get this crazy ass scene where to the point they're butting heads so much that Esther makes her a drink, and it's this rat that's upstairs in freaking Esther's room. She's like having as a little friend, you know how it goes. Someone killed the freaking rat, so I think it was freaking, actually I think it was Trisha, I want to say, but she put it in her drink, and she's drinking and she sees the rat tail, she puts it in a disposal. It was so disgusting, but Esther's so evil in this is crazy. But anyways, the dad is out on a trip, so they're back home, and you know, Gunnar and they're trying to find a way to get rid of her now, because like you try to kill us. So they're like, you know what, just deal with her. And you know, Esther, obviously she got out of it. You know, we get a scene where Gunnar gets so mad he throws Esther down the stairs, but she gets up, kind of like on some Halloween 1978 shit. She's no longer there. And yeah, you know, so she just decides they go in the room with the pictures and the black light and stuff, and Esther kills Gunnar with a freaking bow and arrow we see him practicing with through the film. She just cracks him like, and she stabs him with his fencing sword. And then, like I said, the big thing was Trisha didn't want her family to be broken apart, and that's why she kind of told Esther, you want to play your fucking part, and you know, this is how we're going to do it. So she goes crazy saying that Esther, she actually catches Esther in that act killing Gunnar, and she goes ape shit, like, you know, like, you just try to kill me, you just kill my son. And they're in his house, they're going back and forth in the kitchen. I'm talking butcher knives and everything. Blood is getting shedded. People have busted heads to the point they lead up to the room upstairs while the house downstairs is catching on fire. It's so weird. The house is like in flames, and they're upstairs like battling and shit. They go out the window, you guys. Before this, Alan calls, you know, freaking Trish like, hey, I'm on my way home. They said that Esther ran away, and she's like, no, trying to kind of buy time, because Alan doesn't know that his family's crazy or his wife is a killer, whatever. So anyways, we're approaching the end of the scene, and then you know, Trisha gets on the roof. Her and Esther having this crazy scene on the roof as the house is on fire, so they're over above flames and shit like that. So they kind of climb to the top, and then they kind of start hanging off the roof. Alan gets there, he's trying to save them. They're both hanging. He doesn't know who to save. It's his wife and his daughter, and she's like, Esther's a little girl. Esther's a grown a woman. She's not a little girl. You don't want to listen to her. Anyways, make a long story short, Trisha ends up falling to her death. And then he saves Esther, this random 30-year-old he doesn't know. Then he figures out in the weirdest way, he's like moving her jaws and her fucking teeth comes out. Those famous teeth, her teeth is yellow and grungy. The real Esther has came, you guys. And yeah, it was just crazy. And he's just like, bro, like, you know, gave her like, you're not my daughter type of thing. And she just gets mad. She's like, come on, Alan, like, you know, I want you, bro. Pushes him to his death, and they both die, and Esther stands tall, and we get this fucking iconic crazy ass scene with Esther just walking through the fire, and that's the end, you guys. It just shows you kind of continuing to the 2009 film, what was Esther's mission. And you know, they're like, they ended off saying, you know, basically like, Esther, who wouldn't want to adopt her? She's been through so much, not knowing that this is a freaking 30-year-old woman, 31-year-old, I think they said she was, but she's portraying a girl. Is so crazy. But for me, this movie was a 10 out of 10. Now, it did have some stuff that they could have did better. Like the ending, I feel like it was kind of like just quick, if that makes sense. I wanted to have more detail and more attachment to it, but I think I liked it, bro. I really do. I just literally got done watching it. Esther killed it. She was more brutal in this. That crazy scene with the crowbar, she's beating Anna on the stairs. She tried to kill. That was crazy. If she would have completed that kill with the posters and pushed them out on the track, that would have been wild. the kill when she killed Gunner with the fencing knife and she freaking crossbowed him is crazy. And it just showed you how ruthless, you know, Esther was at the end when she killed Alan, because she had like a crush on him or whatever, but she just still killed him. Like, bro, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like, I did all this for you type of thing. Now you can just be with your wife too. And it just showed you at the end of the day, Esther didn't get what she want, but she did kill everybody. That's just Esther, you know. And I love Esther, man. She's a upcoming horror icon, and I kind of seen something that is set up for another film. Like, you know, she died in 2009, but it's like almost like another prequel is set up. So we're going to get another prequel, probably telling us the story about Esther before type of thing, like what she's been doing. That is crazy. And I'm all for it. Isabel Furman, she loves Esther. If you don't follow her on like social media, she always talks about Esther, and I love her, man. Esther's one of my favorite female villains, and the story of her just being like an adult but portrayed as a kid is unbelievable. So for me, this movie's a 10 out of 10. It has some brutal kills. It was shot kind of weird in certain situations, if it makes sense, with like frame and stuff and cinematography, but it was cool though. I definitely enjoyed it. So I definitely recommend you guys to check out Orphan First Kill. Comment down below what you guys think if you've seen it. But you guys, this is the end of the video. Don't forget to hit me with my social media. Alex on Instagram, Alex37, on TikTok, Brandon on Facebook, and Alex on Twitter. And don't forget, you guys, to become a member of the Patreon to get exclusive content and benefits. And right there where it says subscribe, right next to it, you can click join and become a member of the channel. Also, don't forget to check out the merch store. And you guys, I want you guys to watch some horror movies. Stay scary out there. I love you all. Peace.